friends, welcome back to Silla Studies. I am Leeladhar. In the last session we have discussed up to the peninsular rivers. In this session we are going to discuss about the water use, and in the water use we have to estimate the how much water is how much of surface flow and how much of the groundwater flow we have to estimate. In order to estimate this, once we need to recall the water cycle. We know the water cycle. The water present in the oceans and the seas and rivers will be evaporated and forms into the clouds. After moving some distance, the clouds will collide with cold air, and the cloud condenses to water and start falling as rainfall. This is called as a water cycle. Again, this water rainfall is evaporated and formed into the clouds, and again it falls as rain. This is a continuous cycle, and it is also called as a water cycle. And also, in order to estimate the surface flow, we need to calculate the amount of streams, channels, and rivers, lakes, etc. But it is very difficult. It is too difficult to estimate. So the groundwater is very difficult to estimate the how much amount, and also the any inflow for any area. Now we are coming to the inflows. The water. We need to discuss an important shed. It is called as watershed. Important term, watershed. The watershed is an area of land that drains all the streams, rivers, and rainfall to a common outlet. And also this watershed is any geographical area that drains to a common point is called as a watershed. It also consists the surface flow such as streams, rivers, lakes, seas, oceans, etc. And the precipitations are different forms of falling, such as hails, waterfall, rainfall, and storms, etc. These are all comes under the precipitation. Now, for any area and any inflow of an area is defined as inflow is equal to the precipitation plus groundwater plus surface water flow. So here we need to calculate the surface flow of an area and also the groundwater flow of an area and also the precipitation. Here comes, we need to make all these points in a clear manner. It is very difficult to calculate the groundwater flow, but it can be calculated by one who can guess the amount of groundwater available. And coming to the surface flow, so we have to calculate all the streams, channels, and also rivers, lakes, water the flowing on the surface. They are all comes under the surface flow, and also precipitation. The rainfall and the hails and storms, etc. all comes under the precipitation. And again, we have to the water use. Nowadays the laws are inappropriate and also outdated, and the water flow, the groundwater can be restored in processes like I said in the last session. And also we need to think if the surface flows and groundwater flows. If we take a region such as a village or a town, we can estimate the idea of a groundwater on the how much it is it is difficult, but we can estimate by a small guess, and we can get to an idea of the surface flows and also the precipitation in the form of which are flowing on streams and rivers and channels, etc. And in the surface flows, it is also there is a evapotranspiration. Some of the amount present in the water and the rivers, and some of the amount that is present in the amount of water present in the oceans, rivers, lakes will be evaporated. And also not only these, but also the living organisms also execute the water by the processes of breathing, and this water is called as this amount of water which is evaporated by the living things is called as transpiration. So here the surface flows also include both evaporation and transpiration together, called as evapotranspiration. The surface flow also include the amount of evapotranspirations and also water outflow via surface flows. If we take a small region such as a village, the water would flow out of the village through the streams and channels, and it can be helpful for after moving some distances. These can be formed into the pit-like structures, and they can be reach down to the ground to the strata by recharging the aquifers. Recharging the aquifers will help to increase the level of groundwater. And also like this, the water can be in a different ways, some the surface flows and outflows and the inflows and also the precipitation like this. Then once again the inflow formula, inflow of any area is equal to the groundwater flow of that surface area plus the precipitation plus also the surface flow. And this is about the water flow out via surface areas. And the next one comes here, water for agriculture. The water reaches the root zone of a crop, and this will helpful for the farmers to maintain the crops very fertilely. The soil becomes very fertile because of availability of the water. And water, these are all comes under the surface flows. So in the water, these are the types of surface flows we are using the water for the agricultural purpose. The water is helpful very much, and also the farmers will be very happy for getting this water. And also the crops will the land becomes very fertile, and the crops will also get a good amount of water as the water reaches the root zone. And also, and the water is used for the domestical purposes and for animals. And nowadays the water is also used for the washing of the animals, and also they are used for the domestic purposes such as cooking, cleaning, washing, bathing, etc. All these also comes under the water use and also the surface flows and etc. Next, now we are going to the water used in the industrial purposes. Uh, and water for the industrial uses. The industry also uses the water for manufacturing processes and etc. Very much the industrial industries will use the water in different ways, such as in the manufacturing the products and also in making the pulps and making the raw materials and washing the raw materials, cleaning the all the products that are manufactured after the manufacturing processes. And like this, the industries also use the water in a very different ways, in variety of the ways. And like this, all the uses of water for the water flow out of the regions, and water for the agriculture, and water for the domestical purposes and also for the animals, and water for different uses in the industries. All these comes under the surface flows. And also we not only depend on the surface flows such as streams, channels or rivers. We can also make use of the available stocks of water. When we want to use the water, we can use all these livestocks are available. And also the water is useful to us very much in our daily life, in a very much activity, in a very different activities, such as the cleaning in the house, also cleaning the house and cooking also requires water. And like this, all the uses and all the water uses comes under the surface flows. And next, and water can be stored in the different manners, such as when the rain is falling, all the times when rain falls, we can make some pit like structures and store the water in the rainfall. And also we can reuse the water, and we have to recycle the water all the times. We should not pour directly into the bathrooms by do not recycling the water, because the water is a very need in we need water very much in our daily lives, so we should not waste the water. And also water should be recycled all the times when we use it. The waste water should be used for the planting of the trees. Water should be used in a planned manner. Water should be used and carefully, and we should plan how we have to use the water. And so friends, please, in this session we are completing up to the water use. In the next session we are going to the Tungabhadra river basin, in the water problems in the Tungabhadra river basin. Thank you for watching this video, friends.